One of the most significant events in the modern world is the growth of the global human population. For most of its history, global population was well under a billion people. It didn't reach 1 billion until the early 1800s and 2 billion until the early 1900s. In the year 1950, it is estimated that global population was 2.6 billion people. Now, as you watch each of the years go by with the estimates of global population and the number of new individuals from the U.S. Census Bureau, you notice that beginning with additions of maybe 30-some million people a year, then 40 million people a year, the global population increased. And throughout most of this, the yearly increase was 70 or 80 million new people per year. Now, this means that the current United States population could then be added to the world in about 4 years if 70 to 80 million people were added every year throughout much of this time. And as you can see, the global population steadily increased to records simply unheard of. Once again, the global population reached 2 billion for the first time in the early 1900s. Keep in mind that while certainly this is significant to human populations, remember that these humans needed space. And so that means that forests were cut down, wetlands were drained, grasslands were converted to cropland, which fed these humans. That livestock now occupied areas which used to be grassland, that more fossil fuels would have been needed to provide heating and air conditioning, more pollution and trash would have been generated, so that all of this human population growth comes with a price to the environment. In the year 2010, the global population of 6.8 billion was double what it was when I was born in 1966 at 3.4 billion. A billion people were added to the planet between the years 1999, when there were 6 billion people on the planet, to 2012, when there were 7 billion people on the planet. Remember that it took humans hundreds of thousands of years to reach their first billion, but a billion people were added between 1999 and 2012, just 13 years or so. By mid-year 2020, it is estimated that there are 7.6 billion people on the planet. And keeping in mind that in 1950 there were 2.6 billion people on the planet, that means in those 70 years, 2/3 of the global population was added. So this is exponential growth, given that 2/3 of the world's population is entirely new in the past 70 years. If one were to estimate the biomass of humans, how much all humans would weigh, it's been estimated to be 60 megatons, 60 million metric tons. This is a lot. All wild mammals are thought to be only about a tenth of this at 7 megatons. And so humans outweigh all wild mammals on the planet. As human populations have grown, obviously so too has the area required for human cropland and human livestock. Human livestock are thought to represent 100 megatons, which is more than the human biomass and far more than the biomass of all wild mammals. And so this is one of the most significant events in modern history, the explosive growth of the human population.